The cool thing about this bow is this is actually known as an English longbow. So they basically originated in England long time ago, probably around 1100, 1200 AD. So if you've ever seen the movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, or any of the other Robin Hood movies, this is basically the bow he typically uses. So the English longbow is usually about 72 inches long, which the downside to that is it's a little hard to transport inside of my car because it's pretty tall. The English longbow is usually in a very unfinished type state. So I, threw a couple of coats of oil over this, but it's not super shiny because I just kind of wanted to keep it close to kind of like a medieval type of style as possible. So the English longbow was most famous for helping win the 100 Years' War, which was England versus France, and I believe that was like late 1300s through the 1400s. Again, it was about 100 years long, and basically they were able to win that because these are super quick, easy, and affordable to produce, and they basically made it mandatory that all the peasants within England practiced with it every Sunday. And France had also experimented with that, but ultimately France decided historically that it wasn't a good idea for peasants to have access to this. This was basically considered the assault rifle of the medieval period. Obviously this thing, this one's only about 45 pounds at 28 inches, but the medieval varieties were 80 pounds and probably higher, over 100 pounds in some cases. And they could easily puncture the armor of like a highly trained medieval knight. So France decided it wasn't a good idea for peasants to be able to own one of these, so they banned them in France, and I think ultimately, historically, it cost them dearly. They lost the 100 Years' War against England, and also, if you look at history, about 300 years later, the peasants overthrew the monarch anyway, during the French Revolution. So, just a little interesting history with this. I built this one to be kind of a deer hunting bow. So I've got these arrows with real feathers, and they just got nocks built into the wood. And I just got these arrowheads up here. And I will say, compared to my American longbow, this is shooting definitely slower because these arrows are much heavier. But that's gonna kind of give it an edge hunting wise, because obviously the heavier the arrow, the better. Accuracy wise, 10 yards, I'm definitely paper plate. 20 yards, probably stack 3 paper plates on top of each other, and that's about my accuracy. But that's probably more indicative of me more than the bow. But I think with traditional bows, they don't really, I mean, during 3D archery, you're always only about 10 to 15 yards versus with a compound bow, usually the targets are about 20 yards. So I think, you know, with a traditional bow, we're going to be aiming to be getting within 10 yards anyway. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not going to shoot it too much because I don't want to put too much wear on these arrows. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So just a little history on this thing, and definitely intend to be doing some hunting with this if I don't sell it off first. But yeah, just figured I'd talk about it a little.